Journal entry for Saturday, March 28th. I'm just going to make something real quick before I go to bed. I've already taken some NyQuil. I already paid for it, so I'm going to take it. Well, I got up to go to this Easter lunch at the church. The bishop actually was trying to be nice and just small talked a little, and then I went to go get food. I walked towards the food, and I figured it's going to be a bunch of ham, and it was, but there was other stuff too, so I had enough without the ham. But there was deviled eggs, a little pasta salad left. Most of it was gone. I was there maybe 15 minutes after the meal started. Some bread and some desserts. It wasn't a lot, but I had a good meal. There were 2 big containers of meat, and all the meat was ham. And I thought, I'm going to have to bring up pork again this day. But I didn't discuss it with the bishop. It wasn't necessarily a good time to do that. There was someone else who had been a long-time member. We ended up sitting at a table, and this table was full. And they were just talking, and I overheard a few things. Like the woman sitting across from me, she was kind of upset that like her spiritual elevation relied on her husband's spiritual elevation. Because the Mormons believe that you have an eternal spouse, you're married forever, and she couldn't elevate it higher unless her husband did. And I heard this, I'm like, oh no, that's not. But I said, you do have someone that God made when you were created at the same time. But on earth, you're not always with, usually you marry other people that's not your like a spirit partner. And she was a little weirded out. And then the man that was sitting next to me, who's like, he actually turned it into a compliment, but like, and how you see things a certain way. He was trying to say it nicely. He wasn't rude at all. But I could tell they didn't quite agree. But she wasn't satisfied with what they currently believed. Just talk a little bit, and then it goes into the pork conversation. I bring this up. I think I did a good job covering the reasons why we shouldn't eat pork, but in a polite way. I didn't go into too much detail. And this man I spoke to, we had a good conversation. There was no yelling. There was no arguing. We actually talked like the whole time, and they were shutting down, and we were still talking, so it was good. But I think maybe if that's influenced something, as he seemed open to everything I was saying. And they also have some conference going on in a couple weeks, so I'm going to watch that too. These are supposed to be the prophets in the Mormon religion, so. He told me to watch it and see if there was any false prophets there. And I did make sure to say, and and it doesn't mean they're a false prophet if they just like don't have all the information. Like they have information in this field or here, but they don't know everything. It doesn't mean they're a false prophet if they don't know everything. But possibly there are some false prophets there. They said, I don't know it's not for me to say who's a prophet or not, but God gives us discernment. Once you've been through certain tests and been with narcissists and done through certain training, I believe that God gives you discernment to know who's good, who's bad, who's authentic, who's legitimate. So possibly some will be false prophets, but I wasn't trying to say that at all. I was only saying that prophets are given insights and they're given like visions or they're given knowledge in certain areas. They don't have to be given information in every area to be a prophet. That, you know, maybe they know about this thing, but they don't know about dietary restrictions. But maybe the man was correct when he said to watch out. There's to see if there's any false prophets there. Maybe he is correct. This is going to be like 8 hours of recording for me to watch. Not this weekend, but next. So I have to do it. I'm going to do it. Anyways, when it was shutting down, people were leaving. I did talk to the missionaries a little bit. Another one was gone now. And so there was one new, and then the one man who was brought in the last time. This is quite strange. I don't know why they're cycling them out so quickly. But anyone to shake my hand and so, oh, you might not want to. My voice was a little raspy, and I told them I had been drugged by a narcissist, and I was sick. I'm on antibiotics now. But I didn't think he would want to shake my hand because I was blowing my nose. So I said, you might not want to shake my hand. But we talked a bit, and I'm like, anything else you want to talk about? I'm like, no. And then I started to head out. But it's like they shut down really quickly and wanted to get out of there. There was maybe a little food or people in the back, but it wasn't appropriate that time. I didn't bring anything in. We were talking the whole time, so I didn't even get as much food as I wanted. I would have liked to get more eggs, more pasta salad, but I just got a reasonable sized lunch. I should have got more, but I didn't. It would have been inappropriate and rude. So, what stuck out today was that I really noticed the pork spirits. All of the meat at the church was pork. And like it smelled disgusting, and it looked disgusting. Like almost if it was a human meat. And then I could see the influence of the pork spirits on all the people. Like by looking at someone, I could tell if they were eating the pork or not. Like they almost take on a pork shape and take on certain behaviors. And I'm not trying to be rude here. I'm not trying to be rude because this is not just at the church. This is everywhere. Everywhere, anyone, and most people that eat pork will be disbelievers. They don't go to church. So it's not just speaking about a specific group, but it's almost like the smell of the meat as I walked towards the room. I was maybe 10-15 feet outside of the room, like 10 feet outside of the room, and I could really start to smell. It smelled disgusting and dirty, and then it looked disgusting and dirty, like if it was human meat or something. But it was maybe like I was seeing something more spiritual. Because I saw, like, I could almost look at a person and tell if they eat pork, like, that influence of those spirits on them. And it's probably because everybody in the building had just eaten this. They had all just eaten pork. There was no other meat. I did not get any pork, but, actually, the man I spoke to, he was polite, he was kind, and he was very receptive to everything I said. And I listened to what he told me as well, and it was a good conversation. And when it was over, I didn't stick around to go and talk to the bishop or anything. I didn't go in the back to try to get free food. Some people were rushing out, and I just looked back there, and it's like, okay, it's time to go, and I left. Came home. There's still no heat in my house. I'm gonna go to bed here in a minute. Trying to think of what else happened. I was just snacking on a lot of the candies I bought at Dollar General, which I'm now boycotting. Took some medicine. I've got some NyQuil. It's not working as well now that I've taken it like 3 days. So today I guess was pork mission. I'm gonna try to get up early. I'm not sure if I'm gonna go or not, but there is a free church breakfast at 8 a.m. I haven't been there in a long time, so maybe I'll stop by tomorrow. It's been a while. And also, my toilet is not flushing properly. Again, when it gets so cold that the pipes freeze, it doesn't flush right. So, this is really annoying. This is how cold it is in my house that the toilet is not flushing. But anyways, like, it flushes, but the water doesn't go down. So, like, I think it freezes at a certain point. So, you can see what I'm saying. Like, it's not going down. It's like the same water cycling. And once it warms up, this will be fine. But it looks like we've got some more cold days again. And might be like an endurance test. Yes, I've got endurance. I can handle it. It doesn't mean I want to. I would like to be comfortable and happy, but I practiced the guitar a lot today. Seem to do a little better at that. I do not like modern medicine, but actually antibiotics are fine. In some cases, they save lives. So not all of medicine is bad, and that's what I told the people when I was talking to the missionaries. I told them about the church and how I didn't go any place over the weekend. I told them about the witches and the narcissists, and they seemed kind of interested. I was like, anything happen with you? Like, no, not really. As you're busy studying, like, yeah. So I wasn't trying to be rude, but I didn't want to shake the young man's hand because I was blowing my nose. I don't think that I'm necessarily contagious because I'm on the antibiotics, but I'm blowing my nose, and then like I don't want to touch somebody's hand, so just thought better be safe than sorry. I would really feel bad if he got sick because he shook my hand. But anyways, it was a good discussion, and I told him that I'm going to a different church tomorrow. So maybe I'll get the free church breakfast, and then they've already invited me to go to a different church. And then there's a free dinner there in the evening. Hopefully no pork, but we'll find out. Last time though they had only pork. They got like a turkey wrap, and they brought that out for me, so that was nice. So I guess I don't have to worry too much. But yeah, if something else happened, I can't remember it right now. The dogs made a mess. Like I had to pick up after them, and I'm just not feeling too well. So it would be good if I woke up feeling better tomorrow and ready to show up at this church I haven't been to in like a month or two. I stopped going. The pastor was working with the Kingdom of Darkness to try to get me. He watched as they he watched as they poisoned my food. He acted like a kind man, but has pork spirit. So I'll stop by again tomorrow and see what's going on. But if I wake up too late, then I'm not gonna go. But if I happen to wake up with enough time, then I'll go. As the older couple, they replace the strings on my guitar. They attend these services, and they normally play some music. They are very talented musicians, but they're playing for criminals that I don't think really care, and they don't appreciate this music. As they are very talented, but the people they're playing for can't really appreciate it, I don't think. Maybe a few can. But anyways, I don't know. I lay my life at God's hands to do with whatever He pleases. So thanks for watching.